But if you're into landscape and nature photography, one of the things you're gonna need is a tripod, and a good tripod is always better. This is the Manfrotto Element Me tripod. I've been using a very cheap Amazon tripod for about a year now, and honestly, it was time for the upgrade. I'm gonna go into a bunch of specs of this tripod, but first, Hickory Run is absolutely beautiful. I wanna go and show you that first.
As landscapes and nature photographers, we often struggle with finding subjects to capture, especially if we aren't in areas that we think of as these big adventure destinations. But I can't stress enough, don't give up on your own backyard. You can easily find places to capture just by searching. I only found this state park a few years ago, and it's only 45 minutes away, which was extremely eye-opening that we often sleep on the beauty around us. Now, something that's gonna help you capture these beautiful outdoors is a good portable tripod.
So yeah, Hickory Run is one of my favorite parks in Pennsylvania, and most of my life, I honestly didn't know about it. That's why it's so important to always check what's around you, because you don't necessarily have to travel across the world to get good nature photography or landscapes. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about that tripod I showed you a little bit earlier.
One of the things that stuck out to me most when first using this tripod was its design. It's an aluminum tripod with a flat black matte finish with some red highlighting. It feels really good and stable in the hands, and as far as tripods goes, it looks pretty aesthetically pleasing. On top of the tripod, you can find a nice smooth ball head, as well as a very glidey feeling rotation plate that's going to help you get the micro adjustments you need to get the angle of shot that you want. The maximum height of this tripod is 63 inches. That's plenty high. I can't think of any situation where I would want more than that. Sometimes you don't want to always go high, you want to get nice and low to the ground. In order to achieve this, you can easily flip the tripod upside down and adjust the legs accordingly to get as low as you need to go. I find that for a tripod being used in landscape or nature photography, having a feature to get it very close to the ground is imperative for a lot of shots. Now, when fully compacted down, it stands at only about 16.7 inches, which I found pretty easy to store nicely in my Manfrotto travel bag, which I often use for hiking. The total weight for this tripod is 3.5 pounds, and while that is still pretty heavy when you're hiking long distances, for its price and quality ratio, it's one of the lighter tripods out there. Now, when you're traveling or hiking, you're not going to be carrying a bunch of gear with you. That being said, the load capacity of 17.6 pounds is going to be more than enough for any of your needs when you're out in the field. Now, talking a little bit more about the details of the tripod, one feature that I really like is it's a twist lock system for the legs. Personally, I prefer this system to the clamp system because it allows me easily to make micro adjustments to my tripod height when I'm operating on uneven surfaces like rocks or water or what have you. Now, I did find one concerning flaw with this twist lock system, and that was how easy it was for the tripod leg to fall out if you made it too loose. So just keep that in mind if you get this tripod, to make sure your legs are always tight, otherwise you might lose one while hiking. Lastly, the bottom of the legs feature a nice rubber stopper to help prevent it from slipping, especially when you're on those uneven surfaces. Now, for travel and especially landscape photographers, having a tripod is so important for getting a variety of shots.
So probably one of the greatest uses for a tripod is when you want to capture moving motion like a waterfall. Typically when you're doing waterfall photos and you don't have a tripod, you can't really do a long exposure. But a really cool way to capture these waterfalls is to make it long exposure so you can capture it in motion. Without a tripod, you can't do long exposure because you're gonna get too much camera shake in it, and it's gonna greatly degrade the image, making it look very blurry. But with a good tripod, you'll be able to get a nice stable shot. So let's go ahead and take a picture of this waterfall back here.
So now that we have the tripod set up, we can go ahead and adjust our exposure to be longer, which will help show the motion of the waterfall. Another good tip when using a tripod, always set a timed shot. That way you can set your shot up, back away from the camera as an additional precaution to any camera or tripod shake.
So I've used this tripod 3 times now, and so far I've been loving it. If you're interested in checking this out, or maybe getting one for yourself, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can get one of these. Remember, having a tripod when doing landscape or waterfall photography it's extremely important, almost as important as having a camera, because it's going to help increase your picture quality quite a bit. And you're already spending thousands of dollars on camera equipment, so might as well get a good tripod. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please like that button down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next video.